Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness unlock the biggest doors. She only wanted to be kind. He only wanted to be unseen. But destiny had other plans. It was a chilly, gray morning in downtown New York. The sky was heavy with clouds and the sidewalks shimmered from a fresh drizzle. People bustled through the streets, umbrellas colliding and boots splashing through shallow puddles. Inside a cozy little coffee shop named Bean's Blessing, a young woman named Emma Lowell, 26 years old, stood in line with her coat still damp from the rain. Her eyes were tired from life, from juggling 2 jobs, and from carrying dreams too heavy for a heart so gentle. Emma worked as a caregiver during the day and took freelance writing gigs by night. Her life was far from luxurious, but she always had a habit. No matter how tough things got, she always paid it forward, even if that meant skipping her own treat. That morning, as she waited for her turn at the register, she noticed a man in front of her, older, in his late 60s, dressed modestly in an old coat, holding a small cup of coins. He looked confused as he mumbled, "Just 1 small coffee, please." "Black." The cashier looked annoyed. "Sorry, sir, you're $1 short." Emma stepped forward without hesitation. "Put it on my order," she said with a soft smile. The man turned, surprised. His pale blue eyes locked with hers, piercing, intelligent, yet exhausted. "You don't have to, young lady," he murmured. "I want to," Emma replied. "It's just coffee. I hope your day gets better." The man's lips curled into a faint smile. "It already has." Emma didn't expect anything more. She paid for her coffee, nodded goodbye, and found her usual spot by the window to work on her laptop. But the old man didn't leave. He sat a few tables down, watching her quietly. 15 minutes passed before he slowly rose and approached her. "May I sit?" he asked. Emma hesitated. Something about him was different, not threatening but mysterious. "Sure," she said, closing her laptop. He introduced himself only as James. "Thank you again for the coffee," he said. "Most people walk past me. You didn't." Emma shrugged. "It's nothing. To you, maybe. To me, it's rare. People don't see each other anymore." There was something poetic in his voice. He wasn't rambling. He was observing. Emma smiled faintly. "Are you a writer?" He chuckled. "Once. A long time ago. Now I just observe." Before he left, he handed her something. A card. No number. No title. Just an embossed golden monogram, JM? Emma raised an eyebrow. "What's this?" "Call it a bookmark for destiny." Then he disappeared into the mist of the rainy city. Days passed. Emma returned to her routine, changing bedpans, reading bedtime stories to patients, and writing late into the night. She kept the card in her journal, mostly as a reminder of that strange yet warm encounter. But everything changed 2 weeks later. A letter arrived. Fancy envelope. Sealed in wax with the same monogram, JM. Inside was a letter that made her hands tremble. "Dear Miss Lowell, I'm sure you remember me. You bought me coffee on a rainy Tuesday. I'm not homeless. I'm not poor. My name is James Moreland, and I am the founder of Moreland Enterprises, a global conglomerate worth over $40 billion. I've spent the past 5 years in silence, watching this world from a simpler perspective. I was dying, not physically but spiritually. I lost my wife. I had no children. And I began to doubt that humanity still had goodness in it. Until you, a stranger, gave me warmth with nothing in return. That moment restored something in me. I have been looking for someone to inherit not just my wealth, but my vision. If you're willing, I'd like to offer you something far more powerful than coffee. Come meet me. Let's talk about legacy. James Moreland _. Emma dropped the letter. She thought it was a prank. Until she Googled him. Every word was true. Meeting James again wasn't just a dream, it was surreal. He invited her to a private estate outside the city. The place looked like something out of a fairy tale. But James made it clear this wasn't about money. "This is not a game," he said as they walked through his library. "This isn't about inheritance. It's about carrying a torch. I need someone who understands compassion, kindness, grit." He introduced her to his foundation, an empire of charities, schools, and global causes. But it was all falling apart because no one cared the way he did. He didn't want her to sign anything. He wanted her to live it. And so he gave her 3 months. 3 months to lead one of his most failing programs in a struggling town under a fake identity. If you still want this after that, he said, you'll have it all. Emma took the challenge. She moved to a small town under the name Emily Grace and worked in a broken shelter on the edge of shutting down. She fixed plumbing. She ran night shifts. She raised funds using her writing and social media skills. And slowly, the shelter began to bloom. But more than that, Emma bloomed. She saw people. She fought for them. She wept with them. And when James returned 3 months later, dressed like the billionaire he truly was, she didn't recognize him at first. But when he smiled, the same soft, observing smile, she ran to him. You passed, he whispered. No, Emma said, holding back tears. I just became who I was always meant to be. Emma became not only the heir to James Moreland's fortune but the soul of his vision. She didn't build towers or yachts. She built schools, homes, libraries, and every morning at her favorite cafe she bought someone a coffee. Just in case. Just like that rainy day, when she changed her life with kindness. Kindness doesn't ask for recognition. But sometimes the universe answers it in the most unexpected ways. She paid for his coffee, never knowing she was paying forward her own destiny.